What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Humphrey here. I make videos on personal finance and investing here on YouTube, and today I wanted to answer a question which I commonly receive, which is, hey Humphrey, what do you do for money? And today I'm gonna reveal exactly what I do for money, and first of all, let's just roll that intro. So I admittedly have a different way of making money than most people, as my income is comprised of a lot of different income sources. But before I start, just know this, that exactly 1 year ago today, I only had 2 out of the 9 income sources that I'm going to be talking about. That means I built 7 new income sources just this year alone. So if you watch to the end of this video, not only are you going to get my 9 income sources, but also 7 of the new ones that I built this year. And that means if I built them this year, you can too. So a quick background on me, I graduated college with a finance degree back in 2009. And through the 2010s, the early 2010s, I was working at startups. I ended up working as a mobile gaming monetization specialist. And that was basically my bread and butter from the years of 2014 to 2016. It was one of the top grossing games in the world, and I learned a lot there, and I even got to meet some pretty cool people like Arnold Schwarzenegger. In 2016, I actually left that company to start my own business, and it was a custom poster business that I built from the ground up. I actually ended up selling that poster business earlier this year, and at the same time, I started to grow a TikTok channel and a YouTube channel teaching people on financial literacy. So that's kind of where I am today, and as we move forward as a society, I think having a side hustle or different types of sources of income is going to become very important. So today, that's what we're sharing, are my 9 sources of income, and hopefully you guys can take away something from this and hopefully be inspired to start your own sources of income. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and let's go over my first source of income, which is actually called mapyournight.com. So as I was saying, I sold my first poster business earlier this year, but I actually started a new one, and it's called mapyournight.com, and I started it a few months ago, and we've been in business for the past 3 months. Basically what the company does is we sell maps of the stars for any occasion, so you can put in any date and any location that you were in, and it'll exactly map out what the stars look like from that night, from that location. It makes a really great sentimental gift, and it really combines my love for astronomy and posters. I've always loved posters. As you can tell, I have some posters in my background, and I also love looking at the stars. I don't know if you guys can see this, hopefully it's focusing, but I have this moon print that I absolutely love, and I'm gonna get it framed to put in my YouTube background pretty shortly here. So love these, and then if you guys wanna see a print from Map Your Night, it's basically what one of the prints that we print look like. It is a map of the stars, our first date. This is just a sample, we are not on a date, although this could be our first date, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so that's what we make. So I've always enjoyed this business model because it's really straightforward to me. All you have to do is get an order, you fulfill it, and then the customer is happy, and you hopefully make the difference on what it costs to make and what you're selling it for. So that's what I did with Map Your Night, and basically we have a custom star map generator that turns whatever the customer chooses into a file that gets sent to a printer, and each one of these prints is hand produced and shipped to the end customer. Now, I've quality checked the product myself, and I really love the quality of these posters, and we print and ship out of a facility over in the Midwest. Now, technically you could call this business model drop shipping since I'm not physically touching the product. Now, I have been to the actual printer's headquarters and I've touched the product, which is a good plus. But because I'm not touching the products on a day-to-day basis, I could technically run this business from everywhere, and it's actually quite a nice source of income for me. Now, fun story about the printer that we do currently have. I actually just reached out to them on Google. I was just Googling places in the Midwest for a printing facility because I thought by Googling somewhere in the Midwest, that would be the best shipping hub for the prints. Back in the day with my first poster business, we actually printed with mom and pop shops in the Bay Area here in California. And that was actually a huge problem. A lot of these mom and pop shops could not keep up with the volume. With the mom and pop shop, one of the biggest problems was that the margins weren't there. What I mean by that is we were being charged about 25 or 30 bucks all in to get a poster shipped from San Francisco to, say, Chicago. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, Humphrey, but you're selling these posters for $50 and it's only costing you $30 to print and ship. Isn't $20 margin enough? And the answer is basically no. I mean, we have a lot of overhead costs, and typically when the product cost actually costs more than 50% of what you're selling it for, you're in a pretty bad spot as a business. So what I did was I turned to Google. I started Googling a lot of different printing facilities in the Midwest that might be willing to take on my project. I called them, and I actually got to meet with them in person by taking a flight there. So that was a big relief for me, was actually integrating with a printer that could actually keep up with volume and scale. Because trust me, it was a huge problem when we couldn't get out orders on time. We had a lot of customers breathing down our necks wondering where their prints were. But these days, I have the process pretty dialed down. Most people get their prints within 5 to 7 business days, sometimes a little bit longer if USPS is delayed. So we've been in business about 3 months now, and I wanted to share with you guys some of the results so that you could see the power of owning your own business, even if it's a side hustle. In September, we did about $1,800 in sales, and then if you go to October, we did about $2,745 in sales, so it's growing. And then in November, just through Instagram influencer marketing, we've done $17,425 in sales. I see this business growing in the future, and it's gonna be a lot of work, but it's also going to be one of my larger sources of income in 2021. My next source of income is actually e-commerce consulting. I consult for a few different e-commerce companies, but one of them is actually called Tiny Headed Kingdom, and they sell these really interesting plush bears with tiny heads and large bodies. I help them out with anything like email marketing, Shopify funnel optimization, or anything on the Shopify backend. This is an hourly based job where I work about 3 to 5 hours per week, and it pays me a little bit on the side. And it's just one of the small income sources that I do have, but having so many income sources will totally add up over time. I also like working on other types of e-commerce projects because I love seeing how other business models work. With Tiny Headed Kingdom, I get along great with the owner, and I almost feel like I'm part of their family now after about 1.5 years of working for them. So that's one of my older sources of income, but you can become a freelancer online through any of these freelance networks. If you have any skills like email marketing, graphic design, or maybe UI design, you can apply to be a freelancer on one of these networks and hopefully get a job through that. My next income source is YouTube. This is a new stream of income for me. I started actually making my first YouTube video last year in July, but I actually wasn't monetized until this June. I started seriously making videos here on YouTube in February, and it actually took me a long time to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, which are the qualifications needed to actually be monetized on YouTube. On YouTube, you make a certain amount of money based on the views that you get. So the more views that you get, the more ads that can be served on your actual videos, and you get paid a rate based on how many views you receive on your channel. Now that rate is called a CPM, and it varies quite widely based on what type of channel you have. I actually made a video on YouTube detailing how much I make on YouTube with 22,000 subscribers. I have around 30,000 subscribers now, so it's a little bit higher now, but it's really around the same. YouTube is hopefully one of those income sources for me that will hopefully be more passive in the long run, because as I add videos to my catalog, more people can find it in the future. So even though I'm not actively making videos, if someone stumbles upon one of my older videos, I can still make a little bit of money from it. I like being on YouTube because I love sharing content, actually teaching people about money and investing, and it actually brings me a lot of fulfillment to be here on YouTube, showing you guys how I make money, or showing you guys how to best manage your money, or showing you guys just anything actually just related to money. So I'm glad you're here with me. I do think that YouTube is a ton of work, but I love the fact that it could be potentially my full-time job. So if you are watching and you want it to be my full-time job, just make sure to keep watching the video and maybe smash the like button, or just tap the like button if you'd like to see me in the future. So I'm gonna keep it going, and I hope you guys are enjoying me on YouTube. And let's talk about my next income source, which is actually TikTok. So TikTok is a new income stream for me, and I never actually thought I would make money from TikTok, and I just kind of started it as a challenge to myself late last year. The story is basically last November, around this time, on Thanksgiving actually, was my first TikTok video. I noticed back in the day, not many people were making personal finance videos on TikTok, and I thought, I could probably break into that niche. So I made a few videos in December. I think I made maybe 3 or 4 in December, but then at the end of the year, when it was coming down to New Year's resolutions, what I wanted to do was make 1 video a day on TikTok for 30 straight days. That was it. That was my resolution, and I actually started it on December 26, 2019. And if you don't know how the story ends, let me tell you. Basically, I got to 30 days, and by the end of 30 days, I had like 125 or 130,000 followers on TikTok. And I said, okay, well, I'm already at 30 days. I might as well go for 60. And so I got to 60 again, and then I think my growth was just as great. I think I was at 220,000, 230,000 after 60 days. And I said, okay, well, I'd be dumb to stop now. So then I went for 90 days. Well, after you hit 90 days, you're pretty much close to 100 days. So I went for 100 days, and then after that, the rest is kind of history. I actually went for 150, then I went for 200, 250, and I actually finally stopped at 260 straight days of making a TikTok video. But as a result, now I have over 1.1 million followers, and it's becoming a new source of income for me that has so much potential that I think anybody can do, even going into 2021. On TikTok, they have something called the Creator Fund, which allows me to monetize based on how many views I get per day. It's kind of like a lesser version of YouTube. I don't make as much on TikTok, but the fact is that all my videos being viewed every day is still generating me some sort of income. So that's a new income source for me, and that is one that I generated this year in 2020 alone, and it really shows you the power of consistency and dedication. The next income source I want to talk about is dividends from stocks and also stock appreciation. So I have a video on dividend income and basically how to start a dividend portfolio, but that is one of my larger holdings in my own stock portfolio. A dividend is basically a portion of profits that a company will pay back to you just for owning their share. So if you own shares of, say, Coca-Cola, for example, every quarter you'll get paid a dividend based on how much their share price is and what dividend yield they have. Dividend income is one of the best types of income because it is completely passive. You just buy the stock, you hold it, and every quarter you get paid. Also, if the market is going up, I'm also making some money on the stock appreciation itself. Now, personally, I don't take out the gains unless I need the money, but the fact is that I'm gaining this income on paper and it is still my income, so I do qualify it as an income source. So my sixth source of income is actually Patreon.com. If you guys don't know what Patreon is, it basically helps creators and artists earn a monthly income by providing rewards and perks to their subscribers. Starting a Patreon would not have been possible without my social media presences, so I really want to thank my TikTok income source for basically creating another income source for me, which is my Patreon portfolio. So it's kind of funny in that way, is that sometimes one income source can actually lead to multiple income sources on top of your original income source. For my Patreon, I have two subscription options. I have one that's called Humphrey Whispers and one that's called Humphrey Talks. One is $4 per month and the other is $8 per month, where you get access to my portfolio. While it's not a huge income source for me, it is still one that I value a lot because one, I get to know the community that really supports me. I get to answer questions for them, and it's actually really fulfilling to get to know people on a one-to-one basis, especially in a small, close-knit group community feel like my Patreon. So that's my sixth income source, and if you are someone who's on the creative side that believes they have a community, Patreon might be a great fit for you to generate some additional income for some more premium content. My next income stream is also a new income stream, and that is sponsorships from brands. Now, this source of income isn't as reliable as some of the other sources of income, but I feel like as long as I keep growing my social media presences, that sponsorships will always be there. I usually try to get brands to sponsor me for a longer period of time, and I only work with brands that I absolutely truly believe in. The way that sponsorships work is that they take a look at your average views for the past 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 videos, and they try to come up with a rate based on what they can pay you based on what your average views are. The amount that you can make from sponsorships can vary a lot, but basically you could actually make quite a bit of money from sponsorships even if you have a small following on social media. One of the lessons I learned with working with sponsors is actually I need to be very careful when selecting a sponsor. And the reason is that back in August, I did a sponsorship for one of the products I really like, but the fact is that not many people understood the product within a 30-second ad. If you really want to know, the company was called Prize Pool. It's a new type of savings account, and I actually invested some money in them, which is a story for another time. But basically, it is a prize-linked savings account, and I think that with a 30-second ad, not many people on TikTok understood the product, and therefore I got a lot of flack and negative comments in the comment section. I put a lot of time into social media and providing free financial content for people, so when I do one sponsorship, it's generally because I believe in the product, but it does really hurt sometimes when you get a comment that kind of attacks your character, especially after you do a sponsorship. So basically back in August, I learned my lesson, which is, okay, it's okay to do a sponsorship, but if the product is too hard for people to understand, I actually might get some hate for it. And because I'm getting hate, I just have to learn to just kind of deal with it. And it does kind of suck to get a comment, especially one that attacks your character that says, hey, Humphrey, this type of ad invalidates all of your advice that you've previously given. Not gonna lie, those comments really hurt, but what I had to really understand was that some of these people just didn't really take the time to research the product, because of all the people that I talked to that actually researched the product and actually invested in this type of new savings account, they all had a really great experience. So anyways, that was a new source of income for me, and I'm super excited to share that with you guys. And moving forward, I'm gonna be a lot more careful with sponsorships, but just know that if I ever am sponsored by anyone, I truly believe in the product and I'm looking out for you guys when I'm being sponsored by them. I'm not gonna choose some shady sponsor for my channel. The next source of income for me is actually interest income. I have a large position of cash in my portfolio right now, and I actually save that money in a high yield savings account, which pays about 0.6% per year. It's not that much money, but it's not nothing either, and interest income is one of those types of income that you can get passively just for having your money in a certain type of account. Some high yield savings accounts I like right now are the ones by Ally Bank and also Marcus by Goldman Sachs. It's not really the most glamorous source of income, and it's not the most exciting sources of income, but it is a source of income, so I'm gonna count it, so let's count that. My last source of income is affiliate marketing. If you guys don't know what affiliate marketing is basically if I'm driving clicks to another business and those clicks actually end up buying something from that other business, then I'm gonna get a commission on that sale. So if you watch a lot of my videos, you'll know that I'm an affiliate for a couple different places, but one of them is Webull and another is Robinhood. So based on every click that I drive through, I'm gonna get a small commission from Robinhood or Webull for driving a new user to their platform. Actually, in the case of Webull and Robinhood, sometimes I just get a free stock, which I always think is really exciting because I love seeing free stocks come in my account. So in addition to sponsorships and Patreon, affiliate marketing is another way that I generate income, especially through my social media channels, which are all new sources of income for me in 2020. Now, you don't have to have a large social media presence to do affiliate marketing. You could be running a blog, or maybe you're part of a large gaming community where you could share an affiliate link with. Almost every business these days online has affiliate links. So if you actually wanted to make some money as an affiliate, you could do that. Let's say you belonged to a Facebook group for knitting. Since Amazon has an affiliate link for basically anything, you could actually join the Amazon affiliate program and just link out products from Amazon that relate to knitting into, let's say, your Facebook group for knitting. And what's really cool about Amazon affiliate links is that if somebody clicks your link for, let's say, knitting, but then 24 hours later buys, let's say, a coffee machine, you still get credit for driving that click. It's because the Amazon affiliate link window is actually quite longer than just that click in particular. It actually extends, I think, 24 or 48 hours. I would have to double check, but that is one cool thing about Amazon affiliates in general. So those are my sources of income. I hope that you were able to take something away from this and possibly be inspired by it. While all my sources don't completely add up to a ton of revenue per month, I'm really proud of the ones that I have built, especially in the last year. In the future, I'm looking to add real estate income to one of these income sources, and I will probably drop another video whenever that happens. Also, in the near future, I'm going to be dropping a new video on my passive income sources and detailing exactly how much I make from all of my passive income sources combined on a monthly basis. So make sure you're around for that. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed today's video and press the like button if you got any value out of it. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. My handle there is Humphrey Talks. So if you're ever just bored scrolling the gram and you want to come see my cool stories because they are super cool, that's where you'll find me. If you'd like 2 free stocks from Webull valued up to $1,600 when you deposit $100, the link for that is in my description below. Lastly, thank you to all my Patreon supporters. I really appreciate you guys being here, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next video, which will be in a couple days. And make sure to check out my related videos in the description below. All right, peace.